Welcome to the harbour city of Aarhus on the east coast of Denmark, the venue for the second in-port race in the Ocean Race VO65 Sprint, and it looks set to be a wonderful day out on the water. Let's have a look at the conditions out there, because right now it's looking a little bit light right now. We have been having some question marks as to how much breeze the boats would be experiencing out on the course. No question about the sunshine. That looks absolutely perfect. We are coming into the final few seconds here, those final approaches, and we have got our teams lined up. The start line with the committee boat end just close to the bottom of the camera. It is a reaching star, and you can see the Austrian Ocean Racing, powered by Team Geneva, late to deploy their big masthead code 0. It's WindWhisper down at the far end, the red hull. They've already put the bow down to accelerate. And now Viva Mexico doing the same again, pushing their bow down, trying to build speed now. That seems to be the winning move, because the wind here is light. 10 seconds to go on the countdown. Now we can see WindWhisper Racing Team coming in. They're going to start to windward, but it's going to be late. At the far end, WindWhisper turn up to cross the line, but it's a little bit late on that turn up. And D, it looked to me like Team Yayo, I mean, they had the best time on distance. I mean, Mark, WindWhisper, they have been doing really well in the sprint trophy so far, leading up to this point, and they're looking pretty strong to repeat that.
That's a great point, D, and it's also interesting to just see Viva Mexico there pulling their dagger board down. We saw on WindWhisper, looked like one of the crew had a little tumble trying to get the dagger board down as well, but obviously very different with the foils on the Amoka 60s. The dagger boards make a big difference in terms of preventing leeway, and getting that right on the reach leg can be a very important adjustment.
Right now, the big effect it's having is stretching the field. Out in the lead is WindWhisper in second place, just going out of view from the overhead shot. It is Team Mexico, and then Team Yayo to windward of them is Austrian Ocean Racing, powered by Team Geneva, and WindWhisper Racing Team in fourth and fifth. This is a really strong performance here for WindWhisper. I mean, they are looking absolutely fantastic. And this lead that we are seeing from the red hull, I mean, it was given to them, really. I mean, they earned it from that leeward position on the start line, but the leeward position of the boat that's closest to them, Team Mexico, didn't work out. We've had a place change here between third and second. It's Team Yayo rolling straight over the top of Eric Brockman in second place, just a little under 150 meters behind the race leaders as that first mark comes into view. And this is going to be a square course here. This is a lot of corners, all of them port hand turns. This is going to be a left-hand turn for that leading boat. It's not going to be a long downwind. Are we going to see them stick with that masthead code 0, or potentially a little bit of a sail change here?
It looks like a couple of people coming off the rail there. I anticipate they're probably getting ready to raise the dagger board, but we're not seeing the whole crew shift back into the cockpit, so likely that they'll stick with this masthead 0.
And right behind them, it is Team Yayo coming round. They have really closed up this distance here. WindWhisper has got it right from the line, but Team Yayo has been able to sail through those transitions of light winds. They've been able to close it down, close to the red hull. Now they come round in second place, and we've got 16, 17 seconds perhaps between first and second. That's not too much, especially, D, if the wind stays this light and unpredictable.
Quite a close overlap here between Viva Mexico and WindWhisper Racing, but you're absolutely right, D. With the breeze shifting left there, it sort of eliminates the downwind V&G element of that run, and we've seen passes in previous in-port races with the Amokas. So this wind shift should really favor the lead boats.
So fourth at the moment for WindWhisper Racing Team, but they have got a big block in front of them, and that is Team Mexico. Eric Brockman, the skipper, is not going to want to let. You can see the pockets of the other boats. At third and fourth, very tight there with Team Mexico and WindWhisper Racing Team, and then in second place, Team Yayo. And in first, stretching a little way ahead, it is WindWhisper. Mark, look at that, 5 knots, says Ian on the racetrack. But the boats are moving. I mean, the 65s, they have that tall mast. It's got to be an advantage. With Pablo Arrarte on the helm, standing there in the red jacket. And it's just, I mean, I know it's light winds. I know right now they're not being too pressed in terms of split-second maneuvers. But this boat, Dee, it looks smooth. It looks unstressed.
And I think the battle is really going to be interesting between third and fourth place. Just because we saw, Mark commented on the angle of heel of Viva Mexico compared to the other boats. So as soon as they get powered up, it'd be really interesting to see that battle of third and fourth and how the boats both sail, the teams sail each boat.
They are looking for perfection. We should be expecting these maneuvers to go off without a hitch. The small little niggles in these boats have been discovered, and that's why a good tack, and as you say, a good deploy from WindWhisper, and again behind from Team Yayo as well. A very tight battle here between Team Mexico, and they are in third place right now, and they are desperately trying to hold off Mirpuri Trifork Racing Team.
Yeah, that's right. You have, I'd say, maybe 6 knots, maybe a little bit more, just touching maybe 7. It's amazing what these boats are doing in 6 knots of breeze, but it's shifted around to the south again. It's shifted again, so it's all change.
All change in a very tight battle as well. We're just seeing Team Mexico and Mirpuri Trifork Racing Team coming through the start-finish line to close off that first lap. But as the camera continues to pan down the track, we have got a very tight battle at the moment out in first place. And just look at how hard the camera is having to work here to try and find the 2 boats that are vying for the lead. That is the boat right now that is in the lead. WindWhisper, Pablo Arrarte, looking confident there, and there is something, isn't there, Mark? There is something when you're trying to chase down a boat that is in the lead. You want to see that the helm, the navigator, somebody on board looking behind. There, I just see the first glance behind from Pablo Arrarte, the first little check off the stern to see what was going on behind there. But right now, WindWhisper looking very strong, and we have got Team Mexico still absolutely blocking the progress of Mirpuri Trifork Racing Team. And right now they have got 2 more turns to go, 2 more left-hand turns. In between those there will be attack. As you can see, the white mark on the left-hand side of the picture, that is Mark 3, the second time that we are going round it. And you can see the crew on the Polish boat looking behind, thinking, wow, hang on a minute, they were gaining on us, and not so anymore. Now the breeze is with WindWhisper. They are reaching off to the finish line, is only a few whole lengths in front. Team Yayo now underway after that tack. They are going to be watching WindWhisper get another maximum points for the import series here on the Ocean Race VO65 sprint. It's certainly been all about this boat here, WindWhisper and Pablo Arrarte and the crew. They crossed the line here to win in Aarhus, and it basically marks a perfect scorecard for this boat. In the Ocean Race VO65 sprint, this is the team to try and match. Now, Team Yayo taking second place here on the east coast of Denmark across the line. It's a good performance. I mean, Mark, they did well. They closed down at times against the Polish team, but not quite at the last moment. So this boat is racing here, trying to get the Mexican fans of offshore racing reignited against a potential push for the Ocean Race hole, and they're doing well. Now we can see everybody on board WindWhisper enjoying that moment, because it's all about the points, it's all about the leaderboards. So let's take a look at exactly how the action here in Aarhus has been affecting the scores, because of course we've been seeing some action in Alicante, but this is the second time that we've seen them back out in the water. So the provisional results, but they look set to be confirmed for the VO65, is WindWhisper Racing Team taking the lead and taking 6 points, with Team Yayo in that tight battle behind them in second, and then a very close contest between third and fourth, with Viva Mexico coming out on top to take 4 points and round off the podium. And the overall scores, now having seen 2 in-port races in the Ocean Race VO65 Sprint, means that WindWhisper Racing Team, having taken 6 points in Alicante and 6 points in Aarhus, now sit confidently on 12 points. And because everybody else in Alicante failed to get any scores under their belts after being timed out due to the light winds, they are still sitting a long way behind the Polish team. A strong performance from Pablo Arrarte here, and a strong performance around the world so far. The Ocean Race VO65 Sprint here in Aarhus is over. In a few days' time, the VO65s will be pushing off on their next stage, the offshore leg down to The Hague, and we will have to wait and see whether anybody can find an edge over WindWhisper. At the moment, the Polish team firmly setting the pace.